been fighting for it all your life. You've been struggling to make things right. That's how a superhero learns.
G'day, it's James Greenshields, just back from Bush. Had an amazing time with Queensland Rugby League young players. A bunch of them came out as part of our resilience initiative to empower them to go on and deal with the pressures of life, not only in the rugby league paddock but across the board in a more resilient but emotionally balanced way. Incredible young talent. But the big thing is, we talked about a lot of respect. In the 3 days, it was a common theme of discussions that we had. And I asked this question from the start. If you're not respecting someone, who aren't you really respecting? These guys, 15, 16, bang, straight back at me. Yourself, James. Of course. So what happens between then and the age of 35 and 40? Why does it all of a sudden turn to a stupid question? Or are we just forgetting it? I'd suggest we're forgetting it and trying to justify ourselves that, we don't have to live it. Because if you look at that one tenet, if I'm not respecting someone else, who am I not really respecting? If you live your life by that one tenet, that's incredibly powerful. It goes across everything, not just to the paddock of rugby league, but right across life. We talk to these young guys about the fact that you've got an adversary, you've got an opposition team, and they're on your battlefield, and you've got to play hard. Winning the war is winning the game. You might have to lose a battle or two, which is the play or the breakdown of the play. But the big thing is, if you're not respecting your adversary, who aren't you really respecting? Ourselves. And if you don't respect your adversary quite regularly, they get the play, they get something over you, and you'll lose that fight, you'll lose that battle, or possibly go on to lose the war, lose the game. They got this. Now, one of the questions that came up was, there's a couple of rugby league players evidently playing with underhand tactics. They use, comments and cheap shots to get under the opposition's skin and unsettle them. And they said, well, they're obviously playing at the top of their game. I said, well, is it about them or is it about you? How do you want to play the game? Stop making it about how someone else acts and empower yourself to act how you really want to act, how you want to look at yourself in the mirror or sleep straight in bed at night. So if you want to use cheap underhand tactics, understand you're not respecting another person. Therefore, who aren't you really respecting? Now, take it to the next level. What happens if the whole opposition against this guy couldn't be unsettled, couldn't be rattled? Therefore, what happens to his tactic? It becomes nugatory, useless. So therefore, he either changes his game and elevates, or he gets dropped because he's no longer effective. That elevates the whole standard of the game. Let's take that into life. Let's take that into the playground. If I'm not respecting someone else, who aren't I really respecting? Myself. If someone else isn't respecting me, who's that about? Me or them? Them. Why let it affect me? That's empowering ourselves. That's bringing it back. In family, in the workplace, you look at it across the board. If you use that one tenet in life, it is incredibly powerful. So take this to the whole thing about men. Men, are you really respecting yourself right now? Are you actually hurting? Are you hollow? Have you put your hand up? It's an incredibly powerful act when you put your hand up and ask for help. Realize you can't fix it, but someone else may be able to help you. That's respect. Respect yourselves. We want you around. Cheers.
No, a heart of steel starts to grow when you've been fighting for it all.